They took my $14,000. Then skipped my 30th birthday for my sister's baby shower. I spent my 30th birthday eating alone while my family took a road trip across state lines to throw my sister a baby shower funded with the $14,000 I gave them for so-called emergencies. They didn't invite me. When I asked about it, my sister claimed they'd somehow forgotten to include me on a guest list of 61 people. I didn't fight her on it. Instead, I went online, canceled every utility autopay I was covering for them, pulled their access to my Netflix, and dropped off a box at their front door. But before I dive into all that, let me say this. I've noticed the channel's been slowing down a bit lately. If you're here and you like these stories, hitting that subscribe button is the easiest way to show support. It's fast, it's free, and it really helps keep this community growing strong. 12 days later, my sister flipped out when my lawyer called her. She gave him the same excuse she gave me, said I was accidentally left off the list of 61 people. That's what Qley said. Like it was just a clerical mistake. Like somehow my name got lost between Aunt Laura, gluten-free, and +1, TBD. I didn't scream, didn't plead, didn't even type a response. I just stared at my phone screen, looked at the message bubble sitting there, and slowly set it down on the table beside me. There was a cold plate of takeout in front of me, untouched. That was how I turned 30. A milestone birthday, right? And I spent it alone on the couch, eating soggy leftovers while my family popped champagne at a vineyard 2 states away, all on the dime I gave them back in spring. That money? It was supposed to be for emergencies. Apparently, the emergency was that Qley didn't want to have her shower in a public park. She wanted a winery, catering, and a photo booth. In her second message, she attached a spreadsheet like it was some kind of justification. My name wasn't on it. It was, she said, an honest oversight. Sure. And I guess them not even calling or texting to wish me a happy birthday was just another glitch in the system. I didn't reply to that one either. Quietly, I logged into the utility account and stopped the autopay on their electricity, water, and internet bills. Then I logged into Netflix, deleted all their profiles, reset the password. Next morning, I packed up a box, some old mail, expired coupons, a ratty sweater my mom left behind, and dropped it on their porch. I slapped a sticky note on top, returned to sender. I didn't add a message. No card. No threat. No clever line. Just a box. A statement. 12 days later, my attorney called. Told me Qley screamed when she answered the phone. She asked how I could do this. Said it was too much. He stayed calm. Asked her plainly, would you like to move forward with the formal dispute? I told him, yes. But the real story didn't start on my birthday. It didn't even begin with the money. It started months earlier with a phone call from my dad asking for a favor that felt small at the time. Just one more thing. Another sacrifice. Because I was always the responsible one. Looking back, I should have seen it coming. That's how it works in my family. Love comes with conditions, and silence is the price you pay to keep the peace. But I was done paying. I didn't start keeping track of favors until I realized they were keeping track of my bank account. That $14,000? It wasn't a gift. Not even a loan. It was a lifeline for them. Not that I ever got a thank you. My dad called it smart family planning. My mom said it was just pitching in. And Qley? She called it finally catching a break. It all started after they claimed the roof was collapsing. Dad called me in April, his voice all rough and panicked, saying water was leaking through the drywall. He didn't know what to do. Said they couldn't afford repairs. If it got worse, they might have to leave the house. My stomach dropped. I hated that part of me that still wanted to protect them. For months, they'd been dropping hints, overdue bills, busted appliances, missed meds. So I wired the money. All $14,000. Told them to use it wisely. Never asked for it back. Just wanted them to keep me informed. 2 months later, I stumbled across a Facebook post. Qley was posing in a custom satin dress, standing under a balloon arch that read, Mommy to be. My parents were all smiles. There were string lights, flower walls, a dessert cart shaped like a baby carriage. The location? Chateau Elon Vineyards, easily one of the priciest venues around. The caption read, so grateful for the best family a girl could ask for. Thank you for making the shower unforgettable. No mention of me. I felt nauseous. The next morning, I called my mom. I saw the post, I said. Didn't realize you guys went all out for the shower. She paused. Oh, sweetie, I thought Qley told you. It all kind of came together last minute. You invited 60 people? I asked. Well, 61. And not one of them was me. Silence. Then she said, way too casually. Qley took care of the guest list. Maybe she just forgot. That was the day I stopped taking their calls. But that wasn't when it all fell apart. That came later, when I learned where the rest of the money went. Turns out, it wasn't just the venue and food. They also used it to lease Qley a car. Not just any car. A brand new white Lexus UX with a vanity plate. Mama 2B. I found out from one of her Instagram reels. She was twirling in front of it with some horrible filter that added fake freckles and sparkles. The caption read, surprise from the best parents ever. I'm in love. Best parents ever. I stared at my phone for 10 solid minutes before closing the app. No tears. No yelling. Just silence. I sat in the dark, surrounded by receipts and screenshots, and finally faced the truth. They didn't see me as family. I was just their ATM. But the final blow came in a family group chat. Cousin Kelsey messaged me saying, "Qley told us your birthday got moved. Thought you were out of town." Then Qley replied, "Omeo. He said he wanted a quiet one this year. Who celebrates 30 anyway?" The group chat lit up with laughing emojis like that was hilarious. Aunt Lori chimed in with, "Always so dramatic. Even as a kid." Then Dad dropped a gif of a clown holding a balloon. I didn't say a word, just left the chat, quietly, but I screenshotted every single message. 2 days later, I got a PayPal notification. My parents had tried to use my account again. $179.23 for a grocery delivery. Their house. I canceled it right away. Then I got to work. Called the utility companies, pulled my card from every account. Logged into Netflix, gone. HBO Max, gone. Hulu, gone. They didn't have a single service in their own names. And not one of them called me. No explanation. No apology. Just silence. Instead, Qley posted something to her Instagram story. Funny how people change once you stop depending on them. Stay grateful. Stay real. She tagged our mom. I just stared at it. That night, I made a folder on my desktop. I called it Evidence, Family Fraud. I didn't know what I was going to do with it yet, but I knew I needed to start keeping track. Then I got an email from a collection agency. Apparently, my name was still tied to an old phone plan I thought I'd closed years ago. The balance was over $600 past due. The number on the account? Registered to Qley. I called the agency to confirm. Yup, she'd upgraded the phone twice. Let both versions default. That night, I started digging. And what I found? It changed everything. Buried deep in our shared Google Drive, the one I used to help my parents with their taxes, was a scanned PDF. A tax return. Not mine. My dad's. And on it, plain as day, was my name. He'd listed me as a dependent. I'm 30. I haven't lived in their house in over 10 years. And just under the signature box, he'd written, "Son assists with utilities and provides supplemental care." He'd been writing me off. Literally. For years. I felt sick. But it got worse. I pulled my credit report. There was a hard inquiry from a car dealership 3 months ago. I called them. "Yes, sir," the guy said. "We have a co-signed pre-approval on file. Your SSN is the co-signer. Primary applicant, Mark Ramsey." My dad. He used my information. Maybe he didn't open the account, but he signed my name on something. And I ate cold takeout on my 30th birthday. Alone. While my entire family drove across 2 states to pop champagne at a vineyard for Qley's baby shower. Paid for with the $14,000 I gave them last spring. Money meant for emergencies. When I asked why I wasn't invited, Qley said I was accidentally left off the list of 61 guests. I didn't argue. Just canceled everything. Every autopay, every login, every account. Dropped off a box at their front door. 12 days later, she screamed when my lawyer called. Said again, "It was an accident. You were just left off the list." Like I was some typo. Like my name had slipped off somewhere between Aunt Laura, gluten-free, and +1, TBD. I didn't reply. Didn't beg for answers. Didn't even type anything back. Just stared at the screen. At that little bubble with her message sitting in it. Set my phone down. In front of me was that same plate of cold food. Untouched. That was how I turned 30. A milestone birthday. Spent sitting on my couch, alone, eating leftovers, while my family toasted with champagne at a winery. Using the money I gave them. Because the emergency wasn't a leaking roof. It was that Qley didn't want a public park for her shower. She wanted a vineyard. With catering. And a photo booth. My name wasn't on the guest spreadsheet. She said it was an honest mistake. And the fact that no one even called to wish me happy birthday? Apparently, just another glitch in the system. I didn't respond to that message either. Just quietly opened each account and deleted every trace of myself from their lives. Utilities? Cut off. Streaming? Gone. The next morning, I dropped off a box at their place, old mail, expired coupons, and a sweater my mom had left behind. Post-it note on top. Return to sender. No threats. No guilt trip. No clever one-liner. Just a box. A symbol. 12 days later, my lawyer called me. Said Qley screamed when she answered. Said I was going too far. Said, how could he? He stayed calm. Asked her simply, would you like to proceed with the formal dispute? I said, yes. But like I said, this didn't start on my birthday. Didn't even start with the money. It started with one more favor. One more ask. Because I was always the responsible one. I should have seen it coming. Because in my family, love has strings. And silence? That's the currency you pay to stay accepted. But I was done paying. I didn't start counting the favors I gave until I realized they were counting every dollar I had. That $14,000? It wasn't a gift. It wasn't a loan. It was their safety net. And I was the one holding it together. But not anymore. Water's leaking through the drywall. I don't even know what to do, Dad said. We can't afford a new roof right now. If it spreads, we might have to leave the house. My stomach turned. I hated that part of me that still wanted to jump in and fix things. They'd been dropping hints for months, late bill notices, a broken fridge, missed medications. So I wired them the money. 14 grand. I told them to use it wisely. I didn't ask for it back, just asked them to keep me in the loop. 2 months later, I was scrolling Facebook when I saw it. Qley in a custom satin dress, standing under a balloon arch that read Mommy to be. My parents were grinning ear to ear. There were string lights, floral backdrops, and even a dessert cart shaped like a baby stroller. Location tag? Chateau Elon Vineyards. One of the priciest venues in the entire state. And there it was, the caption. So grateful for the best family a girl could ask for. Thank you for making the shower unforgettable. My name? Nowhere. I felt sick. Next morning, I called Mom. Hey, I saw the post. Didn't realize you guys were planning something that big for the shower. She hesitated. Oh, honey. I thought Qley told you. It kinda came together last minute. You invited 60 people? Well, 61. And not one of those names was mine? Silence. Then she said, way too casually, Qley handled the list. Maybe it just slipped her mind. That was the day I stopped picking up their calls. But it wasn't the day everything fell apart. That came later, when I found out where the rest of the money went. Because the vineyard and catering? That was just the beginning. They also leased Qley a car. Not just any car. A white Lexus UX. With a vanity plate, Mama to be. I found out through one of her Instagram reels. She was spinning in front of it with that cringy filter, fake freckles and sparkles everywhere. The caption read, surprise from the best parents ever. I'm in love. Best parents ever. I stared at that screen for 10 solid minutes before finally closing the app. I didn't cry. Didn't yell. I just sat there in the dark, surrounded by receipts and screenshots, and finally saw things clearly. They didn't see me as part of the family. I was the ATM. But the real gut punch? That came in the group chat. It was my cousin Kelsey who messaged. Qley said your birthday got moved. Thought you were out of town. Then Qley herself replied. He said he wanted a quiet one this year. Who celebrates 30 anyway? The whole group lit up with laughing emojis. Aunt Lori chimed in. Always so dramatic. Even as a kid. Dad? He dropped a gif of a clown holding a balloon. I didn't say a word. Just quietly left the chat and took screenshots of everything. 2 days later, my phone buzzed with a PayPal notification. My parents tried to use my account again. $179.23. Grocery delivery. To their house. I canceled it instantly. Then I called up the utility companies and stripped out every bit of my billing info. After that, I went to Netflix gone. HBO Max gone. Hulu gone. Everything was in my name. And still, not one of them called me. Not even to ask why. Instead, Qley posted this gem on her Instagram story. Funny how people change once you stop depending on them. Stay grateful. Stay real. She tagged our mom. That night, I created a new folder on my desktop. Evidence, family fraud. I wasn't even sure what I was going to do with it. Until I got an email. Collection agency. Apparently, I was still tied to an old phone plan I thought I closed years ago. The balance? Over $600 past due. Number was registered to Qley. I called the agency to confirm. She had upgraded the phone twice, then just let it default. That's when I started digging. And what I found changed everything. Deep in my shared Google Drive, the one I used to help my parents with taxes, I found a scanned PDF. It wasn't mine. It was my dad's tax return. And there I was. Listed as a dependent. I'm 30. I haven't lived under their roof in a decade. And right there, under his digital signature, was a note. Son assists with utilities and provides supplemental care. He'd been claiming me for years. Then I checked my credit report. There was a hard inquiry from a car dealership 3 months ago. I called. Yes, sir, they said. We have a co-signed pre-approval under your SSN with Mark Ramsey as the primary. Mark Ramsey. My dad. He used my identity. Or at least signed things under it. Maybe he thought I wouldn't notice. Or that I'd let it slide. When I texted him about it, he sent one message. You're overreacting. It's family. Don't make this uglier than it needs to be. No apology. No explanation. Just manipulation. But what really lit the fuse? Qley sent me a Venmo request. $84. For diaper raffle supplies. No note. No emoji. Just a bold request, like I owed her. I declined it. She sent it again, this time with a message. Don't be petty. So I sent one back. You were accidentally left off the list of people I respect. That's when things got real. The next day, Mom called me in tears. Said Qley was upset, that I was creating division. That I needed to stop airing dirty laundry. I asked her straight up, what about all the money? She paused, then said, you never said it was a loan. And there it was. Every bill I paid. Every favor I did. Every dollar I gave. Just expected. That was always my place in the family, never the brother, never the son. Just a walking, talking debit card with a pulse. I picked the bar on purpose. Same one my dad took me to when I turned 21. Back then, it felt like some kind of rite of passage. His silent way of saying I was finally good enough to be seen with in public. He never said he was proud, but he let me order whatever he was drinking. That was supposed to be enough. This time, I showed up 15 minutes late on purpose. He was already there, same booth, same beer, Same smug expression. So, he said, leaning back like a king on his throne, you ready to stop playing martyr? No hello. No happy birthday. Just straight to war. I slid into the booth across from him and dropped the folder on the table. Thick, overstuffed, labeled in black sharpie, proof. He didn't even look at it. You really want to go down this road? He asked. I already have, I said. He shook his head and gave me that smirk, the one he always used when he thought he had the upper hand. The one that made you feel like a kid again, small, stupid, powerless. We're family, he said, like that meant anything anymore. We make mistakes, but we handle it in-house. That's the rule. I stayed silent. I wanted him to keep digging. Your mother's a wreck. Qley's a mess. All over. What? A few misunderstandings. He scoffed. You think blowing up our lives over a couple $1,000 makes you a man? That's when I opened the folder. First page, a printed copy of his 2023 tax return. Line for claim dependent adult son contributes utilities and elder care. What of it? He said. You committed fraud, I replied. You claimed I live with you. I haven't lived there in a decade. Next page, a credit application from a Lexus dealership. His name and mine. My signature clearly forged. That's a felony, I said. At least, that's what my lawyer tells me. I didn't want it to go this far, but I had to protect myself. Come on, he muttered. I was going to tell you. When? I shot back. After you wrecked the car or tanked my credit again? Then came the screenshots, Instagram posts of Qley showing off her surprise Lexus. The baby shower at the vineyard. Champagne towers and curated dessert carts. All of it, posted just weeks after I wired $14,000 for what they called emergencies. He didn't say a word, just stared. So I handed him the final page, a notarized letter from my attorney. Effective immediately, I was severing all financial and legal ties. I'd pulled my name from every account, canceled every payment, and rolled everything back into my own name. Utilities, mortgage, phone plan, all of it, gone. He stared at the letter, then looked at me. You think this makes you powerful? He said, voice low now. You think this makes you better than us? I looked him square in the eyes. No, I said. It makes me free. He slammed his hand on the table. The glasses jumped. Don't give me that holier-than-thou crap, he snapped. I've seen it, the way you look at us. Like you're better. Like you're above it all. I was never above it, I told him. I was under it, carrying every one of you while you laughed behind my back. His jaw locked. His fists clenched. You wouldn't be where you were without me. You're right, I said. Because you taught me exactly what not to be. He froze. Then he softened his tone, just enough to try twisting the knife. You really think the world's gonna love you more than your family, he said. They won't. You'll end up alone.